Okay, thank you very much, everyone, for joining. Definitely excited to talk to you about the end of life for the Akamai Identity Cloud, some alternatives to that platform, and then a way to get you off of that platform and get you onto LoginRadius. So what I'll do is I'll start off by introducing myself. So Cooper Matheson, I'm our Director of Sales here at LoginRadius. I've been working with LoginRadius for almost 10 years, so I got a little bit of experience with our platform. And Haley, maybe I'll get you to give yourself a little bit of an introduction as well.
Sure, yeah, my name's Haley Lovett. I'm the Principal Solutions Architect at Next Reason. I've been with Next Reason since it was founded, so I've been here for almost 8 years, I think. I've been in the identity space for more than a decade. I'm based out of Portland, Oregon on the West Coast. And yeah, happy to be here with Cooper and the LoginRadius team and talking to you today.
Perfect. So yeah, what we want to run through, like I mentioned, the Akamai Identity Cloud platform is coming to end of life. This was announced a few months ago. So just some reminders on the deadlines. Then I'll talk a little bit about LoginRadius, how we are, a more modern alternative to the Akamai Cloud as you, consider your options as you, have to move off. And then we'll get into, how Haley and Next Reason really help, those customers migrate away, how they help move their data around to, an alternative, another platform, a different platform. And then we'll do a little recap at the end, and that'll be it. So some reminders here. Yeah, March 31st, 2026. This is when Akamai is going to be decommissioning their social login dashboard. That's the first big landmark there. And then the second one is December 31st, 2027. So that's when there's going to be a full service shutdown. Now, of course, before then, you have to find a vendor. You have to move away and, get yourself onto another platform. And so that's why we're here talking to you today. Definitely, we have seen in the past some of these other vendors have closed down and people have had to migrate off. And one of the scariest things for those customers is when they do that last minute. So that's one thing. The other thing is when they try to do it themselves or they have somebody who is inexperienced helping them with the migration. So these are a couple of the things that we really want to help you to avoid. And this is a big reason why Next Reason and LoginRadius have partnered together. So the first thing here I want to talk about is LoginRadius is a viable alternative and an improvement in a lot of ways to the Akamai Identity Cloud platform. So, LoginRadius, of course, has been around customer identity for a long, long time. We have a lot of feature parity with the Akamai Identity Cloud. Everything that they have in their customer identity feature set, we have that as well. So no loss of features there. But there are some improvements and some, features that we have that they don't have. So some examples are orchestration. So the ease of setting up, these user flows, ease of setting up the, deploying the platform itself. Partner identity or PIAM, that's another feature set that we offer. So this is, allowing the identity access for businesses into your platform, organizing those users, different roles and permissions for those users. And then the last thing here is, we have just a more modern tool set, a more modern identity set, things like passkeys and other passwordless flows that Akamai does not support. So, this is something I want to talk about is, how LoginRadius stands out against some of the other options you might have. There are a lot of other customer identity vendors out there. So one thing that we're really known for is our support. So, we do assign dedicated staff to your project, things like data migration specialists, implementation engineers, executive sponsors, project managers, these types of individuals. And all of this staff is, internally, hired by LoginRadius. They work for us directly. So there's a lot of benefits to, speed of support from that perspective. And this really shines through when we look at the average response times for LoginRadius compared to, some of our competitors. So our average response time for any support question, regardless of severity, regardless of where that customer is located around the globe, is under 20 minutes. and we know that's the best. We know no one can beat that. That's a 24/7, 365, of course. We know that the industry average, comparatively is around 7 hours or more. So a big difference for support, and something that we're really proud of and something we're known for. Next thing, implementation. We do have a lot of really great tools and clear documentation built into our dashboard, and some publicly available documentation as well. Of course, direct access to our technical teams for training and that support that I mentioned on the previous slide there. We see typically our enterprise customers take around 2 to 4 months to, from start to finish, go live with LoginRadius when they're moving from another vendor. Now, I've seen it go a lot faster than that. Can be sometimes, 5 to 10 business days if they really have a strong understanding of their project. Things can take longer too if there's not a big rush. So lots of flexibility there, and we have lots of tools to help you. And of course, when it comes to partnering with Next Reason, this is going to be an even greater and added layer on, helping you get set up there as well. And we'll talk about that in a bit. The last thing here, we do, like I mentioned, we do a lot of training. We do a lot of planning with our customers, and we make sure that all of their integrations are going to work just like they did with their previous platform, Akamai Identity Cloud in this example. We do a lot of QA best practices and different sessions like that. Last thing here next thing here that we're known for, of course, commercial flexibility. So everybody has a different scenario, different types of user bases, different types of challenges when it comes to costs. So we really work hard to try to find ways around that, and helping you get a project going, on budget, on time. So we're well known for that as well. And yeah, we can be a little bit more agile when it comes to this. Very lastly here, stability and scalability. So, this kind of, maybe it sounds a little bit boring, but this is one of the more important things. You can imagine your system going down and people not able to log in. Maybe you've got like a media use case, and you've got a lot of users that come in for an event, and the system crashes, people can't log in. Well, they're going to go elsewhere to make a purchase. They're going to go elsewhere to consume their media. So this is a really big deal for the customer identity space, and something that we really excel in, and again something we're really well known for. So we've had no downtime in the last 4 years. We have had no data breaches either. So I know both of these things for sure. No other vendor can say that. And we have had no crashes during these high scaling events for customers with that type of user base. So definitely something we're well known for. And a real standout for us. The customers who have these types of requirements, they tend to pick LoginRadius. All of these things that makes LoginRadius stand out, that's not just me saying that. We have been reviewed, of course, by these various third-party reviewers like Keeping Your Cool. And you can see us ranked number 2 there. Okay, well, why am I bragging about being number 2? Well, this was before we released our partner IAM feature set. So we expect that we will pull ahead of Ping Identity here now that we have that deployed, or that launched earlier this year. So kind of in closing, explaining what LoginRadius does, we're definitely seen as a leader in the space. We have a bunch of areas where we stand out, like our support and our system availability. But these implementation tools, yes, they can be easy to use, but implementations do get complex. Sometimes you do need an extra hand, and especially someone like Next Reason, they've got a lot of experience working with specifically Akamai Cloud customers, Akamai Identity Cloud customers, and they know those tools. They know how to deploy or migrate that user base. So they've got a ton of experience there, and that's why we really wanted to partner with them, and why we've already seen some success with them. So maybe I'll pass it off to Haley, and you can talk a little bit more about Next Reason, and where you guys stand out and where you fit in.
Yeah, thanks. So Next Reason was founded, just a little background. Next Reason was founded in 2016. And our goal there was to just become sort of experts in all things identity. We had a team that came from a strong identity background. Since then, we've grown and we have teams now in Brazil and in the Philippines, so we can kind of cover the global time zone there with resources. Um, and we offer services such as consulting, strategy, implementation help, support augmentation, as well as working as operational integrators for enterprise customers to like fully help deploy any kind of CIAM solution. So yeah, that's kind of a little background on the Next Reason team that I work with. I wanted to talk a bit about some of the key considerations as you enter this migration away from AIC, because it's happening. End of life is less than 2 years away. If you're looking at that social login platform, that engaged platform, you have less than 7 months. So one key consideration is around downtime and disruption. And I think the biggest thing that's going to help you prevent major disruptions to your current workflow, any downtime at all, is planning your timeline ahead. So thinking about things like, do you have the right team in place that can help you do this, or do you need to augment your staff? Are the tools for your new provider going to allow you to do like a parallel deployment? Are you going to start doing that with a few applications at a time, or you're going to try to move everybody at once? So we have, our team has experienced kind of both methods, sort of a slow roll over to a new platform or just like a hard cut. And we can help work with you and look at some of that in real time. So some of the, oh, sorry, just a couple more on that one. A couple other considerations around security and compliance. So you want to first make sure that the provider that you're moving to, in this case, LoginRadius, matches or exceeds the security that you have today with your platform. So with AIC. So, SOC 2 Type 2, even our team has that as well. You want someone who has experience with GDPR compliance and HIPAA if that's required for you. It may not be for everyone. So you want to make sure that's baked in. So it is with LoginRadius, it is with our team. And that's going to be key to help you just maintain a lot of that compliance as you move. You're also going to want to look at like how, and Cooper already talked to this a little bit, but how you're improving your security posture with your customers. So with the end user experience. So if they're using AIC, chances are you're probably not utilizing path keys or any of that modern like biometric passwordless off options, and you'll be able to do that when you move. So that's really great. And then also you'll be able to take advantage of things like, smart risk detection and looking at like unusual behaviors for your end users to help protect their accounts, which helps protect your brand. And then last thing, so there's some specific complexities related to moving away from the AIC platform that we can help you take a look at and mitigate as you move. So some of these include like if you're using the AIC platform you have for a while, you might have a flow file. So this holds all your like business rules and all your translations and everything in one file. You may have many of those. You may have many versions. So we have some tools that we can help go in and evaluate those, see which are in use, help you divide it up, figure out how that's going to move. And the other thing is your AIC schema may need some cleanup. So you may have some data in your current schema that's proprietary to Akamai Identity Cloud, not needed when you move. You may have some deduplication that you need to do for identities as you move them. You may have multiple entity types where you're storing different data. We can help you take a look at that and decide what data should stay, what's going to be critical to your users. Maybe there's some user records you can actually purge that you don't need to move. And that all that will help you make that move as smooth and quick as possible, while maintaining that like end user experience and even improving it as you move. Yeah, so looking at Next Reason as a migration partner. So like I mentioned before, we have pretty deep expertise in Akamai Identity Cloud. So I worked there for several years when it was Jan Rain, so I'm very familiar with Akamai. Many of the customers that I work with today are on AIC, are moving over. So I have lots of experience there. Same with the rest of our team, lots of experience with AIC. As well as the identity space as a whole. So our team really tries to stay on top of like what's new in the industry and attending like seminars and workshops. We have some of our engineering team that contributes to the OIDC and OAuth 2.0 specs. And so we'd really try to take care to make sure we're working with you on like what's the most modern, safe, secure methodologies there as we work with you. We have some proprietary tools that we've developed specifically to help teams with migrations. So as I mentioned, we can help look, if we're talking about Akamai Identity Cloud, we can help look specifically at that and say, like, here's some complexities that you're going to need to look at that maybe you could mitigate before you move. Maybe we can look at them as you go. And again, we have the ability to work with partners like LoginRadius to move you to like better technology that they have available to you there. We were chosen as the migration partner to Akamai Identity Cloud, so we have some access there that you wouldn't otherwise get to some of the leaders at AIC, so that we can maybe answer questions or get things expedited if you need that. And again, we have extensive experience with this already. So we've worked with many Fortune 100 customers that are working across the globe that have highly critical applications that have that HHH rating about availability and security, and we have been able to move them with no downtime. So looking at our general migration framework, like what that process might look like with you, the first step is going to be assessing your Akamai Identity Cloud implementation. So we've kind of talked about that already, but that's looking at like how complex, how many applications have you deployed, how critical are they, like how many, are some, could you merge some? Do you have some that like, could go first as sort of a test application? Are some API and some are, using hosted screens, or some using some legacy like JavaScript widget solution from AIC when it was Jan Rain? Are you using that Engage platform, or is there another method you could use even as an interim as you move? And then the next step there is migrate. So we can run some of that migration for you. And by migration, I mean both the user data and also your platform migration. So we can kind of help you run that, or we can give you the tools to teach your team to do it for you. And that would be in partnership with LoginRadius. So yeah, so that's the migration set. And then the last step is optimize. So this is really, once you're migrated onto LoginRadius and things are running, our team can help you in various ways. So we can do like support augmentation if you need that. And what that looks like for us a lot of times is like you have many application teams, they need someone to ask questions about specific implementations. Our team can kind of stand between them and maybe raising a ticket to LoginRadius, because a lot of times it's not actually like a platform issue, it's probably more of an application specific like implementation that could just be reworked, or like a user's having a specific issue. So that's what that optimize look like. We can look at how you guys are using the LoginRadius platform, how your applications are consuming it, how your end users are behaving, and work with you to continue to improve over time.
Awesome. Thanks, Haley. And yeah, just like both of us are covering here, you have to move away from that Akamai Identity Cloud one way or another. We're just trying to help you, make the right decision, make a smooth decision, and help get that transition a lot easier than you would otherwise. So, part of that is that faster time to market. Our partnership, LoginRadius and Next Reason, we are really have that expertise to help you get off of that AIC cloud. Help you move to LoginRadius in a really kind of a clean way. All of that user data will be migrated. We can often avoid any kind of password resets as well, which is really great. Overall, we found that customers switching from the Akamai Identity Cloud have a lower total cost of ownership. So there's a savings there. Yes, it's painful to have to move away from a platform into a new platform, but there are some price benefits there as well. So kind of an upside there. And of course, that dedicated support, that improved support, something that you weren't getting with AIC, something that you're not going to find with other vendors, that high quality support that's, whether it's through the implementation with the Next Reason team, something that's on your application side, where Next Reason can support as well. Or if it's on the platform side, you've got questions about best practices, questions about the LoginRadius platform. you get that high quality support. So really in the end, your users don't have any disruption. This is why it's important to plan ahead and get that switch organized and get it moving before that platform is deprecated from AIC. So your users don't have any disruption. They don't have to do a password reset. They can continue to use the platform like nothing, or continue to use your applications, your sites like nothing happened for them. And they might even have some improvements to their experience as well, right? Those pass keys, those are more modern authentication options. So really a benefit for them there. A developer-friendly platform, something that's built for developers like LoginRadius, with all of the SDKs, all of the documentation that you need to make that switch and continue to operate the platform. So we've got lots of features that the AIC platform doesn't have. So another improvement there, and kind of that ties into that modern authentication there as well, right? So offering those additional features that you might not have as an option even with AIC. So a big benefit for you, of course. Our partnership is kind of built to help you get you off of that AIC tool quickly and easily. And for sure, if you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out to either of us at Next Reason or at LoginRadius. We have been setting up some very specific sessions, helping you like scope out your migration, letting you know what you need to do as far as planning and what it's going to look like after you do make that move. So feel free to let us know, and we're happy to chat anytime. But thank you, Haley, and thanks everyone for watching. Bye now.
Yeah, thanks so much.